Hey everybody, this is Scorcher Toys at AnyMoon.com's transformation guide for the Sentinel 148 scale Legioss toy. I like to call it a Legioss. If you are an English speaker, you probably know it as a Robotech Alpha. We're going to start in Soldier mode, which is also known as Batloid. We're going to go to Diver, aka Guardian, and we're ultimately going to end up in Fighter mode. To begin the transformation process, we are going to push in this little chest knob here. Then we are going to turn our toy around. We are going to open up these little winglets. For the moment, I'm going to lift the head up like so. And then there is this piece behind the waist. You have to have your waist perfectly straight. And then you're going to press this up. And there's also the ability to hinge this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it all flat and then press that up until it locks into place like so. This next section might be hard to film, so let's see how it goes. We're gonna pop open the crotch, and then that's gonna reveal the metal swing bar that's inside there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna push it back. You heard it click there. That frees up the bar to rotate. And what we need to do, sweep our legs forward like so, and then rotate that bar and the legs entirely forward. Now, as I come forward, I'm gonna bring the legs forward even more. And we're gonna keep rotating, keep bringing the legs forward. And now I've brought that bar from that position all the way around to the bottom. And then we're gonna push up on that bar. You should see them sliding up into position. There they go. And once they are locked in that up position, we'll bring that back down. So now the bar, which was pointed this way, has come all the way around to be pointing that way. And then we press in to lock it. Now we're going to focus on the arm and chest. And what we want to do is bring the arm back to about there. We're going to bring the flap over on the sensor to make that flat. And then from the front, we're going to pivot the chest like so, which is what frees it up to rotate. Then we're going to do all those same steps on the other side. One of the unique aspects of the transformation of this particular toy is that the intake splits apart. And what we want to do now is move that intake piece below the intake, and it'll look like that when you're done. All right, now we're going to take our side chest piece here, and we're just gonna rotate that upward to fighter diver position. We're gonna take our head, it's on a swing, we're gonna bring it up like so into that fighter diver position. And on the versions that have a fin, we're gonna go ahead and sweep that back now. Next, we're gonna separate these little winglets on the back. There is a peg on one of them, and we are just going to press that peg in now. And then I'm going to bring up the nose, because I find it's a lot easier if you know how it's supposed to end up. So I'm moving the cockpit out of the way, and then these fins, they come back like so, but then they twist and rotate before they end up in their final position. And then you can see there's a peg at the top, a little slot on there, which should just slide right in like so. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Your toy should look like this now, and we're just gonna go ahead and bring in that cockpit, and it will lock firmly into position. If you have it in the right spot, there it goes. And then we can bring that little flap in the front down and back, and that holds together like so. And then you can see we've got the front of diver mode. Now there's a good chance your head probably looks like mine does, so let's get that tucked in. And a big part of that is getting that chin in underneath like so, and then you should be able to squeeze that back of the head against that and fit it right up inside there like so. Boop. Diver mode has some interesting feet. We're gonna go ahead and grab the heel and pull it back, and then it lays flat like so. So you have this gigantic surface area of the foot in diver mode, and then you would just sweep your leg forward, and it's gonna start taking on that shape. A couple other things to note as we talk about the legs in diver mode. Now I said you sweep it forward, but you also have, there's a joint here that rocks forward, and you can bring the kneecap down and get the knee to swing forward too. So in combination with those things, you can do quite a severe deep dive of the nose or adjust it according to how you want to present it. We are very nearly there, but we do have some fine tuning to do. Now you're probably like me, that's probably not in the right spot. Also the arms, we swung them back to give our chest clearance, but you probably want them right about there. That's where the instructions show them. So where there's 3 lines are, bring your arm to about that position again. And then looking towards the front of the vehicle, I left in these little covers, so let's go ahead and pop those out now. I'm using a cell phone repair tool, but there you go. So those are out now. And then I think we're in diver / guardian mode. You might see a couple things out of alignment, but that should get you where you need to be to enjoy the toy in this mode. Before we begin the transformation to fighter mode, 2 things to point out. There are a couple pegs on these thigh swivels in the back. They should be pointing out like I have them now. It's not gonna stop you from going to fighter mode if they're not, but next time you go to soldier mode, you won't be able to get the legs perfectly straight going forward. And you can just rotate the leg while you do a little swivel in and out to get that peg pointed back in the right position again. Also, this VTOL vent, I don't remember mentioning it, but this is the right position. As you transform, usually your thumb will hit it at some point and put it there. So that's what that should look like. All right, let's continue now to fighter mode. To begin our transformation to fighter mode, let's start with the arm and the hand. So for the hand, you want it in a fist and you're gonna face it forward towards you. Then it's best to go ahead and bring that fin out. That creates a little bit of space around the whole forearm here. And then we need to pop this upward, which can be a little tricky. Sometimes it's on there pretty tight. Bring your fist in and then bring it all back down again. And I find it's actually sometimes better to hold the toy upside down while you do this step. So let's see if we can get that to work. No, maybe that'll help me out here. So that, all right, make sure it's nice and recessed in there. And then, yeah, you can close it up like so. And then we're gonna rotate the arm around like that and bring the shoulder armor down. And then we can collapse that into position. And there you go. Now your arm is in the fighter mode position. Now we're going to take our arms, which we've done both at this point, and we're just going to swivel it straight behind like so. And again, we'll repeat on the other side. Now I'm going to focus on the sensor bay. It should look something like this in diver mode. To get it into the toy, we are going to collapse that bay, and then we're just going to fold it over and in behind the cockpit, so you have a nice closed door like that. Next, we want to put our wing into position. So what we're going to do there is just grab the wing and pull back on it, and it will swivel out on a hinge. And then you can bring that part of the wing upward. And then you have the inside of the wing right here. We're going to pull that up, and there are a peg on the front of the back section of the wing, the front of the back. We're going to bring that up and then peg it into place. You'll get a nice solid wing. And then we have this area underneath the intake here. And what we want to do is pivot that so it comes outward like this. And then we're going to rotate it around. And fortunately, the paint helps tell you where you need to be. And then there's a couple different hinges in there that are going to let you press that right into position like so. So now we're in sort of a disheveled VTOL landing position, and I want to get the front of the arm now locked into position. I didn't really do that before. There is a peg on this shoulder part that slips into a slot on the back, and once you've got it perfectly lined up, you can just press down, and that will lock everything into position. Now, if you're having a hard time doing that, sort of slide the arm left and right until you line things up perfectly, and just be applying pressure downward the whole time, and it should sink right into the proper spot, and you're ready to go to the next step. Now we're going to focus on those legs, and what we want to do is fold our heel and push it all the way in, get our foot into that proper fighter position, and also there's this joint right here. Want to get that nice and straight, and we will collapse the foot. There is, before you do that, pull out this piece here. Again, if you're handy dandy cell phone repair kit. All right, then collapse the foot, and we have our kneecap, and we can collapse the leg. And there you go. Now that leg is in the fighter mode position. Do the same thing on the other side. Your toy should look like this now, and what we need to do is swing the thighs up behind the intakes, and to do that, we're gonna pop open this door here and swing the legs around. Now what we have to do first is apply pressure down to free the mechanism, and then the legs can swing, and again, you just have to rotate them as they swing. And now this is probably how pegs get in the wrong position on this interior spot. So what you might want to do, bring these forward and rotate them like this until you're approximately in the right position, and then swing them back out. And then once you're in this position here, get them all the way forward, you will be able to slide it forward and lock it into position. So let's see if we can get that to work. I'm trying to see inside with the camera in front of my face. See if I got it all the way down. There it goes. All right, so that is now locked into position, and we can bring that back down. You want your VTOL vent out, and you're pretty close. Looks like I disjarred a couple things. We want to get our ankles to peg together now. And you can see they've got a couple little spots for that. Let's get you guys together. Two-hand job. There we go. All right, so now those are locked together, and we're going to flip our toy over and work on the arms again. There are pegs that go down from the arm into the thigh, and so if everything's lined up and you got that front peg in position, you should just be able to press down on that arm and it'll sink right into its slot. And then we want to focus on our vertical stabilizers and just kind of pull them out however we want to get them. Just a little bit of an angle looks good. And there you are. Let's sweep that back again for those versions that have the head laser fin, not a laser fin. There you go. You are in fighter mode. You've made it, everybody. Congratulations. Fine-tuning that head fin's a big part of it, but otherwise everything should lock in very securely, and you should have little that you're fidgeting with once you get to this point. Maybe these front little winglets, they can pop out of their pegs, so check on that. And otherwise, whoosh your toy around, enjoy. Check out the full review on scorchedyourtoys@anymoon.com. I also have the PDF of the instruction manual if I've lost you anywhere along the way. Check that out. And as always, thanks for watching.